in today's business world, I mean, few challenges seem to hit quite as hard or cost as much as losing your really valuable employees.
Yeah, it's more than just an empty seat, isn't it? It really affects morale, productivity.
And definitely the bottom line. It's a big drain.
It really is a fundamental challenge, for pretty much any organization out there.
And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. We want to look at strategies to navigate this. We're going to unpack this concept called the North Star Leadership Methodology.
And how companies are actually using it, often with some pretty cutting-edge tech to change their culture and, well, keep their people.
For this deep dive, we looked at some compelling sources, right? Including insights from QuotaPro Leadership.
That's right. They're a firm focused squarely on this problem. And we're drawing on insights from their founder, Joe Prillmayer. He's got, over 25 years in leadership strategy? So maybe let's start with the elephant in the room, the actual cost of losing people. It's often way more than companies think.
Yeah, let's pull back the curtain on that. Because it's not just like an HR line item, it's a major financial issue.
You look at the studies, HR estimates, replacing just one employee can cost anywhere from 50% to maybe 200% of their yearly salary, sometimes even more.
Wow, 50 to 200%. That's a huge range. And I heard for highly skilled roles or executives, it skyrockets.
Oh, yeah. It can jump to 213%, maybe even 400% in some cases. It's kind of staggering when you think about it.
So where does all that cost come from? Let's break that down a bit.
Well, you've got the direct costs, the obvious ones, recruitment fees, especially if you use an agency. That's often a big chunk of the salary right there.
Right. And then the time your own team spends recruiters, managers, interviewing.
Exactly. Plus pre-employment tests, onboarding materials, getting their IT set up, their workspace.
The admin side, yeah.
Yeah.
Training programs, it all adds up quickly.
It does. But then you have the indirect costs.
Okay, the hidden costs. What are we talking about there?
Well, first off, lost productivity. While the position's empty, the work just isn't getting done, or someone else is stretched thin trying to cover it.
Which leads to overtime, right?
Yeah.
Burnout potential for the existing team.
Precisely. Huge risk of burnout. Then you might have missed deadlines, maybe lost business opportunities because you're short-staffed.
And the new person, even when they start, they're not immediately productive, are they?
No, there's always a ramp-up time. Weeks, sometimes months. And, mistakes happen during that learning curve, which can have their own costs.
It sounds like it goes way beyond just the financial hit, too. What about the less tangible impacts?
Oh, definitely. High turnover really hits team morale hard. People see colleagues leaving, their own workload goes up. It creates uncertainty.
Raises questions about leadership, maybe.
Absolutely. And it can damage your employer brand, making it tougher to attract good people down the line. It sort of feeds on itself.
It really sounds like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So, understanding that, let's dig into why people leave. What are the common root causes?
Our sources highlight several key things, and they often overlap. Poor management or leadership is usually right near the top.
Like lack of support, micromanaging?
Yeah, exactly. Bad communication, feeling treated unfairly, no real coaching or development, that stuff really matters.
And feeling stuck.
Yeah.
Like there's no path forward.
That's another big one. Lack of career development, not enough growth opportunities or training. People want to see progress.
We often think it's just about money, but it's more complex, isn't it?
It is. Compensation and benefits, they have to be competitive, sure. But work-life balance issues, burnout from just too much work or no flexibility, that's huge.
And the overall environment, the company culture.
Those are major drivers for leaving.
What about just feeling, appreciated?
Absolutely. Lack of recognition is a big one. Also, sometimes the job just isn't what was expected, a mismatch there. Or maybe a lack of autonomy, feeling like you can't make decisions.
And sometimes it's just a better offer elsewhere, right? Or maybe a bad start.
Yeah, external opportunities always play a role, and ineffective onboarding is a killer. If new hires feel lost or unsupported early on, they're much more likely to leave quickly.
Okay, so putting this all together, for you listening, understanding these costs, these root causes, it's really step one, isn't it? You have to know the problem before you can fix it.
Exactly, which brings us nicely to potential solutions. How do companies fight back against this? QuotaPro Leadership talks about this concept they call the North Star Leadership Methodology. Your organizational North Star is that steady guiding principle. It's that fundamental objective that should shape, well, pretty much every decision and action. A guiding light.
Why is having that kind of clarity so critical, though?
Well, think about it. A clear North Star gives everyone direction. Teams understand the big picture, how their work fits in.
So it helps align everyone,
Yeah.
pulling in the same direction.
Exactly. It minimizes wasted effort, gets different departments working together towards that common goal, and it really helps with decision making.
How so?
It acts like a filter. Does this project, this opportunity, actually move us closer to our North Star? If not, maybe we shouldn't prioritize it.
Makes sense. And does it impact motivation too?
Definitely. A compelling North Star, something people believe in, is hugely motivating, especially when things get tough. It gives meaning to the work.
And if it's linked to the customer?
Even better, if your North Star is about customer value, it naturally drives improvements in their experience.
Okay, so how does a company actually figure out its North Star? It sounds like it needs to be more than just, a slogan.
Oh, it's a whole strategic process. It starts with defining your core purpose and values. Like, why do you really exist? What do you stand for?
Beyond just profit.
Right. Then you identify that specific North Star objective or metric. It needs to be a single, measurable goal reflecting the core value you deliver.
Okay, so you define the metric, then what?
Then you align everyone. Communicate it constantly. Make sure every single person understands how their work contributes. And you identify the key drivers, the things you can actually influence to move that metric.
And track it, presumably.
Constantly measure and track progress. And this is important. Be willing to revisit and refine it. The business changes, your North Star might need to evolve too. It's not set in stone forever.
So for this North Star to really work, what are the key things it absolutely must be?
Okay, good question. It has to be customer-centric based on real value, measurable, obviously. Actionable teams need to feel they can impact it.
Aligned with the overall business goals.
Yes, definitely aligned. And, crucially, simple, easy for everyone to understand and remember.
Simplicity, right? That makes sense for a guiding principle. Now, you mentioned QuotaPro also emphasizes being outcome-driven. How is that different?
It's a really important shift in perspective. Being outcome-driven means focusing on the result, the measurable change or benefit for the end user or the organization itself, not just the tasks you did or the thing you produced.
Okay, so less about the doing and more about the impact. Can you give an example of the difference? Like activity versus output versus outcome.
Sure. So activity-driven might be conduct 10 training sessions, just ticking boxes.
Okay.
Output-driven might be create a training manual, you made a thing. But outcome-driven is focused on the effect, like increased employee retention by 15%. Or reduced customer churn by 10%. It's the measurable change you actually achieved.
That's a much clearer link to actual business value.
Yeah.
So what makes something a true outcome?
Well, it generally needs to be measurable, specific, beneficial, impact-oriented, future-focused, and you need to be able to attribute it to your actions. And the key is that this desired outcome isn't just tacked on at the end.
It guides everything from the start.
Exactly. It's the guiding principle for the entire process, strategy, design, delivery, improvement. Everything circles back to achieving that outcome.
And it sounds like it encourages a broader view, not just one single fix.
Totally. It's holistic. So if your outcome is reducing attrition, the solution isn't just training. It might involve fixing onboarding, improving feedback, maybe even culture changes. You adapt based on what drives the outcome.
How does QuotaPro specifically use this?
Well, for them, the specific outcome they target is clear. Mitigate the risk of new employee attrition and increase the propensity of employee retainment. So their training programs, their North Star methodology, it's all designed and crucially measured against that outcome. They track things like 30, 60, 90-day retention rates, new hire satisfaction, manager effectiveness scores.
So they can show direct proof of impact.
Precisely. It ensures everything they do directly contributes to retaining employees, which provides a really clear return on investment for their clients.
All right, so we've got the North Star for direction, an outcome-driven approach for measuring success. But how do we really supercharge this? This seems like where technology, especially AI and machine learning, really comes into play now.
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting. AI is becoming a serious catalyst here. Companies using AI strategically are seeing real, measurable improvements in productivity and how they respond to employee feedback.
Is it widespread yet? Are people actually using it?
It seems so. That Microsoft 2024 Work Trend Index report found 75% of knowledge workers are using AI now, and nearly half of them just started in the last 6 months.
Wow, 75%. That's huge adoption, really fast. Why? What are people saying it actually does for them?
The benefits they report are pretty compelling. Like 90% say it saves them time, 85% say it helps them focus on more important work.
which probably makes work feel more meaningful.
Exactly. And 83% actually say it makes their jobs more enjoyable. So think about the retention angle. AI isn't just a tool, it seems to be tackling some of those core reasons people leave, like burnout and tedious tasks.
That's a fascinating connection. So it could be like an antidote to some of the attrition drivers we talked about earlier. What are some practical ways AI is being used for retention?
Okay, one big one is listening and responding at scale. AI can analyze huge amounts of employee feedback surveys, comments, maybe even communication patterns much faster than humans can.
So you get a real-time pulse on how people are feeling.
Sort of, yeah. It allows companies to be much more responsive, understand sentiment continuously, not just once a year, helps build trust when people feel heard.
Okay, what about predicting who might leave? Can AI do that?
That's another key application. Reducing turnover with predictive insights. Changes in productivity, communication patterns, survey responses. The system flags potential flight risks so managers can step in before the person decides to leave. It's proactive.
That's powerful. What about just general well-being and making work better day to day?
Yeah, AI helps there too. It can automate tedious administrative tasks, freeing people up for more engaging work. That reduces cognitive load, supports well-being. And AI-powered recognition tools can help ensure contributions are noticed, especially maybe in larger or more diverse teams.
Can you give some specific examples of how AI boosts engagement in practice?
Sure. Think about personalized learning. AI can assess skills, spot gaps, and recommend specific training content right when it's needed.
Tailor development. Nice.
Or AI-powered updates. Instead of mass emails, you get curated info based on your role, location, interests. Cuts down on the digital noise.
Oh, that'd be good. Okay, what else?
Real-time recognition. AI can analyze performance data to highlight achievements, prompting managers or peers to give timely appreciation, consistent recognition.
That's often missed, isn't it?
It is. Also, reliable support AI chatbots or virtual assistants can handle common HR questions 24/7, quick answers without waiting.
And onboarding.
Streamline onboarding, definitely. Automating paperwork, scheduling intro meetings, delivering role-specific info, making that crucial first impression much smoother.
It sounds like AI is really moving beyond just hype in this area. It's becoming a strategic tool for engagement and retention.
It really is.
Okay, let's zoom out for a minute. We've talked about QuotaPro's approach, but what's the bigger picture? This whole leadership training market, it seems massive.
Oh, it's booming. The global corporate leadership training market alone was worth nearly $34 billion in 2023, and it's projected to more than double by 2032, hitting over $72 billion.
Wow, double. And the overall corporate training market.
Even bigger. Expected to reach something like $805 billion by 2035. It's huge.
What's driving all that growth? Why are companies investing so heavily now?
Several things. There's growing awareness that good leadership directly impacts the bottom line. Plus, rapid tech changes mean constant upskilling is needed. There are persistent skills gaps.
And the need for continuous learning, especially around things like engagement and retention that we've been talking about.
Exactly. Companies see investing in their people, especially their leaders, as essential now, not just nice to have.
So are they actually budgeting significant amounts? What does that look like per employee or manager?
The numbers vary, of course, but in the U.S., the average spend was around $1,200 per employee on training in 2023. Many companies budget, say, 1% to 5% of revenue or payroll for leadership development.
And for managers specifically?
Yeah, you might see budgets of $1,000 to $4,000 per manager per year. For senior leaders or high-potential individuals, it can go way higher, sometimes upwards of $10,000 a year.
So with all that money flowing in, it must be a crowded market. How do training providers stand out?
It is competitive. Differentiation comes through customization and tailoring programs. Innovative delivery is big, using blended learning, gamification, simulations, even VRR now.
And microlearning. Short, focused chunks.
Yeah, microlearning is huge. And there's a strong emphasis now on showing ROI, using analytics to prove impact. But, at the end of the day, the quality of the trainers and coaches themselves is still critical.
So bringing it back to QuotaPro Leadership, how do they fit into this evolving landscape? Where's their niche?
Well, they seem well-positioned because their North Star methodology is inherently outcome-driven, which aligns perfectly with that demand for measurable ROI.
Right. focused specifically on attrition and retention.
Exactly. And they're leveraging technology, AI, and ML to track performance and personalize the learning, which hits those key trends around data and customization. Their ability to show concrete results, like that 25% reduction in new hire attrition Joe Prillmayer's programs achieve, that's a powerful differentiator in this market.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. So the final thought to leave you with is this. What could defining and really driving towards your organization's North Star unlock for its future growth and its ability to keep its best people?